But like I said to you earlier, Annie, if you want a debate with your opponents at the table so that you can interrogate the various policies and visions, so that the Ghanaian electorate will get the benefit of having you, the people who want their vote, sit together and run your ideas against each other so the Ghanaian electorate can have a better understanding and make a better choice. In America, suppose one of the greatest democracies, they're having debates, presidential debates, even vice presidential debates. You are running away. Now, if you are running away from the debates, why should Bawumia keep bothering himself? And look at the totally disdainful excuse John Mahama gave just last week or so. I was so embarrassed. You remember the excuse he gave? Forget about the ones that Okujetos, as Okujetos excuse. If I were to tell you now, you laugh at her. As for Okujeto, he said that they won't debate because Bawumia hasn't shown respect. That's what he once said. Bawumia hasn't shown respect. Samuel Okujeto. But he is a collaborator. Mahama himself, what excuse did he? He said that he won't come down to Bawumia's level. Hey! You see the arrogance? He won't come down to Bawumia's level. That's what Mahama said. So he won't debate. That's what he said. He won't come down to his level. And it rhymes with his attitude that Ghanaians know. That is the same attitude that pushed him to tell Ghanaians that if you haven't been president before, you should not be able to criticize him. It's the same attitude that John Mahama showed. It's a character that is worrying. Very, very worried. They should worry everybody who is going to vote. That even when the man wanted 8 years, he wanted re-election, he wanted his mandate to be renewed, he's able to look into Ghanaians, the faces of Ghanaians, and tell us that he is not going to take criticism from anybody. Because you people, you've never been presidents before. And in fact, he then went ahead to tell us the people from whom he may take criticism. And he mentioned their name. He said that you only take that from J.J. Rawlings and J.A. Kufuor. The rest of you, you've never been president. You've never had any position near president. How can you criticize him? It is that same attitude that is making him say to us last week that somebody is below him. It's very worrying. It should worry you. It should worry every Ghanaian. And all of this to run away from a debate. When you were having the debate in 2012, with Akufo-Addo and Ayariga and who was the one who was coughing? That's Ayariga. Yes, Akufo-Addo and Ayariga and Mahama and those people. And you were the president. Were they below you? Or were they above you? Huh? Even when you were president, sitting president of Ghana, and you were debating with the Akufo-Addos and the Ayarigas and the Mahamas and all of them, were they below you or were they above you? Now that you are not a sitting president, you are still telling us somebody is below you. This is John Mahama. This is the candidate they are presenting to Ghanaians. And I'm saying to you that even when the man was expecting 8 years, he's able to talk to Ghanaians like that. Can you imagine if you bring him back and he has only 4 years and he's not going to come back for a renewal? What he will do to us? And Okujeto is coming here to, gloat about this. And we are supposed to take it. Now, he says that, and that's where I was really laughing, that Bawumia is responsible for the current economic difficulties. And that is really their main campaign that they go about telling their foot soldiers. In the year 2000, when the NDC was campaigning, do you know what they told Ghanaians? And their candidate was the sitting vice president. And their candidate was then Vice President Mills, blessed memory. When he was asked that, oh, but you are vice president, and people say that you are part of the difficulties that attended upon us in the last 2 years of President Rawlings. This is what he told Ghanaians. I'm quoting him directly. And I've sent you the footage. He said, when there is a chief, the Jasehini cannot act as chief. It is the president who directs and takes executive decisions. As a vice, my role is only advisory. But even as vice, I have achieved a lot. He then went on to talk about Winneba Water and Winneba University and so on. And then he's concluded and said, if under the president I have done so much to help, I shall do more as president. Now, this is what the NDC and their candidate told us in the year 2000 as to the role of the vice president. Even President Mahama, when he was president, after taking over in July 2012, and was the president, in the presidential debate, he still referred to himself as a spare president. Even when he was sitting in the chair as president, we had gone to swear him in. And I was one of the people who had to cut whatever we're doing in the late afternoon to go and swear him in with all the powers. He was still able to tell us that he's only a spare president and that we should vote for him so he becomes full president. So even when the NDC people were sitting in the presidential chair, they said they were spare, that they are not full presidents. This is the same people. Now, in 2016, this same NDC, Okujeto and his collaborators, they called Bawumia a mate. They went to the north, and they told the people in the north that if you voted for the NPP, Bawumia is only a mate. And if you take your matters to him, he has to take you to Akufo-Addo. If Akufo-Addo doesn't agree, there the matter ends. But if you vote for NDC, John Mahama, the candidate, is the driver. So in 2016, they went about telling people that Bawumia is mate.
So Bawumia adopted the name.
Today, they are saying Bawumia is not mate. He's the main couple. And so if there's any difficulty, it should be put on Bawumia's shoulders. The politics of hypocrisy that Samuel Kujeto was shedding crocodile tears about. The politics of hypocrisy and double standards. This is it. If you are looking for it, this is it. You call the man a mate. Now you say that he's not the mate, he's the driver. When you refer to yourself as advisory role, as for Bawumia, he's not advisory, he's the main man. You see the hypocrisy? Now, even sitting presidents, Annie, when they are going for re-election, they come with a new agenda. John Mahama in 2016 came with a new manifesto. As sitting president, he came with a new manifesto, new vision. As sitting president. Now, somebody who hasn't been president before, when he comes with his vision, they say, hey, go and do your vision. go and execute your vision. The sitting president, John Mahama, in 2016, came with a new vision. You see the hypocrisy? That is your people engaging every day. And they rather seek to talk down to other people. Look, Bawumia is a key member of the government. He has not run away from collective responsibility. He is very happy to be collectively responsible for the good and the bad, like any responsible member of the government. But this attempt by DC and Okujeto and the other collaborators that he is responsible for what difficulties is so childish and so self-serving. It's laughable. And I can tell you, when you go to the ground, that's not the way the Ghanaian people see it. You are tickling yourself at the top and laughing. Now, and you see what they're doing, they're just incriminating themselves. If you want to assign responsibility to one person for whatever difficulties a government or a country is going through, and you want to assign responsibility to one person, and so you think you can assign responsibility for difficulties to a vice president, one person. How about John Mahama, who was president? He wasn't a vice president. He was president. And he had been president for 4.5 years, the longest time of any first-term president. So if you are going to assign responsibility for difficulties between Bawumia and Mahama, who has the biggest responsibility? One as vice president, one as president. Who has the responsibility? So even that argument that they make that Bawumia is responsible and all those things they do, you are even incriminating John Mahama more. If you think that you can assign responsibility to one person for difficulties, then between the president and the vice president, who deserves the bigger responsibility?
But John Mahama has not denied taking up any responsibility of whatever happened to the
in 2016, well, throughout his period, he failed abysmally. Why do you think he was rejected? Why? Has any sitting president in this republic been rejected before? Why do you think he was rejected? Because he failed. He didn't meet the aspiration of Ghanaians. It's not me saying it. It's also there. It's not me. And he wasn't just defeated. He was defeated by the largest margin of a sitting president. Alive? It's not me. These are the facts. So please, get away from that propaganda. It doesn't help you. You can do it when you meet your foot soldiers. It's fine. But don't take it, bring it here.